Greetings once again, everybody. Today's words to live by are: if one advances confidently in the direction of his dreams and endeavors to live the life which he has imagined, he will meet with a success unexpected in common hours. And that is brought to you by David Thoreau, one of my favorites. Going back to my childhood, he was one of the very first people that I read. And he really, I think, was largely responsible for some of the independence that I've sort of taken with me through the years. But this quote is just, he knocked it out of the ballpark, and there's a reason why it's sort of stood the test of time up until present day. And I don't know if it was a regional thing because he and Ralph Waldo Emerson did much of their work and much of their writing in Massachusetts, and I grew up in Connecticut, so maybe there was a regional connection there with having spent so much time in Massachusetts through the years. But it's just something that I love, and I think it's applicable in a couple ways. One, a success unexpected in common hours means that not too many people are thinking this way. They're not sort of advancing confidently in the direction of whatever it is you can imagine for yourself. And I think there's an opportunity for people to be more aware with what their dreams are and the actions and the steps that they're taking towards those dreams. So when I was a little kid, I've written about this a bunch in my books, but when I was a little kid, my dream was to become a professional tennis player. And not too many people do that. So when I was 9, 10, 11, 12 years old, it was like, pat him on the head, okay, kid, good try, good luck with that. And, I had to sort of overcome a lot of those people who are still very vivid in my mind, years later, decades later, who told me I can't do it, but I kept the dream in my head and could envision the steps that it would take to get there. And it was almost like once I did that, I had this energetic force behind me as well, that was unbreakable. It didn't matter who sort of threw mud on me or tried to knock me down. It was just more powerful than that once you sort of take those confident steps forward and have that confidence in yourself and what you can imagine for yourself. And so once I had that formula with tennis and then achieving my dream by the time I was 22, 23 years old, I was able to repurpose that exact almost formula for business. And, you can extrapolate this out to relationships or what you can envision for family or career, vocation, any number of things. It's really all about what you can imagine. And I'm a firm believer that whatever you can imagine for yourself is possible. And I think far too few people in this world don't follow that with confidence, and they don't sort of say, gosh, if I can picture it, it can happen. And here's why. And here's sort of the steps and the actions that I'm taking to endeavor to reach that image that I have in my mind. And so I think it's just such a great reminder. This quote is, it's one of those that I used to have tacked up on, next to my door a few homes ago, just to remind me. And I think it's just one of those things that, always reminding yourself that you have to keep those dreams alive. And it doesn't matter how old you are. You can be a little kid, or you can be in your 30s, your 40s, your 60s, your 80s, doesn't matter. But it's in trying to always endeavor to live the life that you think is possible. And you can. So I hope today's quote was a great one for you. And if you liked it, please hit the like or the subscribe buttons on the page. And I will see you all again very soon.